High-value living is not about elevating your price tag in the marketplace of human opinion. It is about recovering the manufacturer's original specifications for your design. Let me submit to you today that everything the world has taught you about value is upside down, inside out, and completely backwards. The culture says become valuable by collecting credentials, accumulating achievements, and competing for attention. But the manufacturer never designed you to become high value. He created you high value. And the tragedy of your life has been that you forgot the price he paid and the purpose he programmed into your original design. You've been trying to add value to what heaven already declared priceless. That's like a diamond trying to become valuable by covering itself in costume jewelry. The problem is not that you lack value. The problem is you've been listening to the wrong appraisers. I want to challenge your thinking because what I'm about to share with you will completely dismantle the matrix of lies that has kept you performing, proving, and positioning yourself for approval from people who don't even know their own worth. You see, the world system operates on a performance-based value system. You are valued by what you produce, how you look, who you know, what you own, and how well you perform. But kingdom value operates on an identity-based system. You are valued because of whose image you bear, whose breath is in your lungs, and whose assignment is written into your DNA. When the manufacturer designed you, he didn't create a product and then try to find a use for it. He identified a specific problem that only your unique design could solve, and then he manufactured you as the answer. That means your value was established before you were born, not after you prove yourself worthy. But here's where the deception entered. From childhood, you've been programmed with false beliefs about what makes a woman valuable. Society told you that your value increases with your beauty, your relationship status, your ability to please others, or your success in mimicking what men do. Religion told you that your value comes from being quiet, small, submissive, and never causing disruption. Culture told you to shrink yourself, silence your voice, hide your ambition, and apologize for taking up space. You were taught that high value means high maintenance, exclusive access, strategic unavailability, and manipulating your way into a man's provision. That entire system is a counterfeit. It's fake value. It's costume jewelry pretending to be a diamond. And millions of women are exhausting themselves trying to become something they already are while hiding who they were actually designed to be. Let me expose the lies one by one, because until you see the counterfeit clearly, you won't recognize the authentic. The first lie says, I need a man to complete me, validate me, or make me valuable. Wrong. The manufacturer created you complete. When he formed you, he said you were very good, not almost good, not good if you find the right person, but very good as a standalone masterpiece. Your design includes the capacity for relationship. But relationship is not your completion, it's your collaboration. You were created to reign with someone, not to be rescued by someone. Marriage is not your salvation. Partnership is not your validation. A man is not your completion certificate. You are already whole, already complete, already valuable. A relationship should be two complete people multiplying their impact, not two incomplete people hoping the other fills their void. The second lie says my value is determined by my physical appearance, my age, or my body. Wrong. Again, your body is the house, not the person. You are a spirit being having a human experience. The manufacturer judges you by the content of your character, the clarity of your purpose, and the execution of your assignment, not by the shape of your vessel. When a house gets older, does the owner inside lose value? When a car gets scratches, does the driver suddenly become less qualified? Your body is temporary transportation for an eternal assignment. Yes, maintain it, honor it, care for it, but never mistake the vehicle for the driver. Your value is in who you are, not what you look like. The third lie says, I become valuable by being chosen, pursued, or desired by high-status men. This is perhaps the most dangerous deception because it makes your value dependent on someone else's opinion. It turns you into a product waiting to be purchased instead of a solution waiting to be deployed. The manufacturer didn't create you hoping someone would choose you. He chose you first, assigned you specifically, and authorized you completely before any human ever laid eyes on you. You don't become valuable when a man notices you. You were already valuable when heaven designed you. Stop auditioning for validation. You're not trying to get picked. You're trying to execute your assignment. The fourth lie says high V-value women must be scarce, unavailable, and difficult to access. That's not value. That's manipulation. That's strategy, not identity. That's a chess game where you treat yourself like a prize to be won instead of a person with a purpose to fulfill. You don't need games to prove your worth. You need revelation of your original design. Real value doesn't hide to create demand. Real value serves to solve problems. The sun doesn't play hard to get. It rises every morning and gives light generously because that's what it was designed to do. High value women don't withhold their gifts to inflate their importance. They release their gifts to fulfill their assignment. The fifth lie says, I must compete with other women to prove I'm more valuable. This is the poverty mindset. This is scarcity thinking. This is the belief that there's only so much value available and you must fight for your peace. But when you know who you are, you don't compete, you create. There's no competition in purpose because your assignment is custom designed for your unique specifications. Another woman's success doesn't diminish your value. Her beauty doesn't decrease yours. Her opportunities don't reduce yours. You're not in competition. You're in collaboration with heaven's diverse solutions for earth's diverse problems. The only competition is between who you are today and who you were designed to be. The sixth lie says, my value decreases with age, mistakes, or past failures. Absolutely false. The manufacturer doesn't make products with expiration dates on their purpose. Your assignment doesn't retire at 40. Your purpose doesn't have a shelf life. Your calling hasn't come with an age limit. And your past was not disqualification. It was preparation. Every season of your life, including the broken ones, was loading you with raw material for your assignment. The betrayal you survived gave you authority to speak to betrayed women. The failure you experienced gave you wisdom to help others avoid similar mistakes. The pain you endured gave you compassion to minister to the hurting. Nothing was wasted. Everything was preparation. Your value doesn't decrease with time. It increases as you accumulate the wisdom, experience, and authority necessary to fulfill your specific assignment. The seventh lie, and this one is subtle, says I need to wait until I'm healed, whole, perfect, and completely together before I can step into high-value living. Wrong. That's procrastination dressed in spiritual language. You don't need to be perfect to be purposeful. You don't need to be completely healed to help someone else. In fact, your greatest ministry will come from your mess, not your mastery. People don't connect with your perfection. They connect with your authenticity. Your scars qualify you. Your struggles authorize you. Your survival story becomes someone else's roadmap. Stop waiting to be completely whole before you operate in your assignment. You're healed enough, whole enough, and ready enough right now. Now let me teach you kingdom principles about authentic high-value living. Because once you understand these, you'll never again measure your worth by the world's counterfeit standards. The manufacturer principle states this clearly. Never ask the product what it's for. Ask the manufacturer. When a car breaks down, you don't interview the car about what's wrong. You consult the manual. When a computer malfunctions, you don't ask the computer to diagnose itself. You contact the manufacturer. You are a product. You have a manufacturer. And he never creates anything without specific purpose, detailed design, and intentional function. The moment you ask the world to tell you your value, you're asking the wrong source. The world didn't make you. The world can't fix you. And the world certainly can't define you. Only the manufacturer has the right to determine your value. And he already did. He stamped it into your design before you took your first breath. He established your worth before you performed a single achievement. Your value is not negotiable. It's not up for debate. It's not dependent on public opinion. It was settled in heaven before it was demonstrated on earth. The potential principle reveals something most people never discover. The wealthiest place on earth is not the bank, not the stock exchange, not the real estate market, not the oil fields. The wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard. Right now, buried in cemeteries around the world are millions of books never written, businesses never started, inventions never created, songs never sung, problems never solved, and destinies never fulfilled. Women died with businesses still inside them. They died with inventions locked in their minds. They died with solutions to problems that are still plaguing society today. They died with music the world will never hear, with art the world will never see, with innovations that could have changed industries, with wisdom that could have transformed generations. Why? Because they spent their entire lives trying to become valuable instead of releasing the value they already carried. They died seeking approval instead of executing assignment. They died waiting for permission instead of walking in authorization. Everything God created is full but looks empty. A seed looks insignificant, but it contains entire forests. An egg looks simple, but it contains complex life. A baby looks helpless, but contains a future world changer. You don't look like what you carry. The woman struggling financially right now might be carrying a billion-dollar business idea. The woman everyone overlooks might be carrying the solution to a global crisis. The woman society calls ordinary might be carrying extraordinary impact that won't be released until she stops believing the lies about her limitations. The tragedy is not that you lack potential. The tragedy is not that you weren't given gifts. The tragedy is that you might die with it all still buried inside you because you spent your whole life trying to prove you were good enough instead of demonstrating you were specifically enough for your specific assignments. The purpose of a profession principle is critical for high-value living. Your job is what you're paid for. Your purpose is what you're made for. Don't confuse the two. You can be wildly successful in your career, but completely failing at your assignment. Many women are climbing the corporate ladder at record speed, breaking glass ceilings, earning six-figure salaries, and collecting impressive titles. But the ladder is leaning against the wrong building. They're achieving everything society said would make them valuable while ignoring the one thing the manufacturer said would make them fulfilled. High value is not about your salary, your title, or your corner office. High value is about alignment with your original design and execution of your specific assignment. Listen to me carefully. You were not born to find a job. You were born to solve a problem. Employment is how you pay your bills. Assignment is why you have breath. Your career might change 5 times in your life. Your purpose never changes. Your job description might evolve. Your kingdom assignment remains constant. And until you identify the problem you were manufactured to solve, you'll keep chasing success while running from significance. You'll keep achieving in areas that don't matter while neglecting the one area that does. Success without purpose is just decorated failure. Achievement without assignment is just impressive emptiness. The kingdom citizenship principle shifts everything. You are not a beggar trying to get into heaven. You are not a peasant hoping for scraps from the king's table. You are royalty trying to remember your original authority. You were manufactured in the image of a king, which makes you royalty by design, not by achievement, not by appointment, not by election, by creation. Kings don't beg, they decree. Queens don't audition for their throne, they occupy it. Princesses don't grovel for permission, they operate in delegated authority. You have been thinking like a slave when you were designed to reign. You've been asking permission when you already have authorization. You've been waiting to be chosen when you were selected before the foundation of the world. High-value women understand their citizenship. They don't derive their worth from earthly EMS that fluctuate with trends, economic conditions, or cultural opinions. They understand they're operating as heaven's representatives on earth, carrying kingdom culture into broken systems and demonstrating what the original design looks like when it's fully activated. You are an ambassador. That means you represent another government. You carry another culture. You operate under another authority. And ambassadors don't beg the foreign nation for validation. They carry the authority of the nation that sent them. The original design principle is this: God doesn't see you as you are. He sees you as you were designed to be. Your current condition is not your original specification. You may be damaged, discouraged, broken, or buried under years of wrong programming, but none of that changed your manufacturer's blueprint. When you buy a brand new car and within a week it gets dented in a parking lot, does the manufacturer suddenly say, well, I guess we need to revise the manual because this car is now officially worthless? No. The manufacturer knows exactly how to restore it to original condition because the design never changed. The damage doesn't alter the blueprint. The manufacturer judges you by specifications, not by current performance. He sees the blueprint, not the current condition. He sees the design, not the damage. He sees what you were created to be, not what life has reduced you to. You are not a mistake trying to fix yourself. You are a masterpiece covered in dust. You are an original buried under counterfeits. You are a solution disguised as a struggling woman. And the moment you remember your original design, everything changes. The moment you stop trying to become valuable and start remembering you already are, transformation begins. The death to life principle is perhaps one of the most powerful kingdom secrets. A seed must die to become a tree. As long as the seed refuses to break open, refuses to surrender its current form, refuses to undergo the death process, it remains a seed, small, limited, unrealized. But when it surrenders to the process, when it allows itself to break open, when it dies to what it is to become what it was designed to be, that's when the tree emerges. You must die to who you were told to become who you were designed to be. You must die to the false identity culture gave you to become the authentic identity the manufacturer gave you. What looks like death is actually birth. What feels like loss is actually release. What seems like the end is actually the beginning. The seed doesn't lose its life when it breaks open, it multiplies it. One seed becomes a tree. One tree produces thousands of seeds. Death to false identity leads to multiplication of true impact. Let me illustrate this with a story. I once met a woman who spent 30 years believing she was average. She had accepted the label. She worked average jobs, maintained average relationships, expected average outcomes, and made peace with ordinary. She told herself lies like, I'm not special. I don't have unique gifts. I'm just getting by like everyone else. But one day, a complete stranger spoke one sentence to her. You don't look like what you carry. That sentence detonated something inside her spirit. She suddenly realized she had been living beneath her design for 3 decades. Within 6 months, she quit the job that paid her bills, buried her purpose. Within a year, she started a business solving a problem millions of women face, but no one was addressing. That business now employs over 150 people, generates millions in revenue annually, and has impacted over 10 million women globally. What changed? Not her circumstances, not her education, not her connections, not her credentials. Her thinking changed. She stopped asking, can I? And started declaring I must because that's what I was made for. She stopped seeking permission and started operating in authorization. She died to the identity of average and was reborn into the reality of assignment. Consider the eagle. When an eagle egg accidentally falls into a chicken coop and hatches among chickens, that baby eagle grows up thinking it's a chicken. It watches chickens scratch in the dirt, peck at feet, cluck in fear at every shadow, and fly no higher than the fence post. The eagle imitates what it sees. It adopts chicken behavior. It accepts chicken limitations. It lives a chicken life. But one day, it looks up and sees an eagle soaring thousands of feet in the air, riding wind currents with effortless power, hunting with precision, raining from the sky. Something stirs inside. To voice it doesn't recognize, whispers. That's what you are. That's your design. That's your destiny. That's when it realizes the truth. I'm not a chicken. I never was a chicken. I've been living beneath my design because I was surrounded by the wrong influence and I adopted the wrong identity. The moment that ego spreads its wings and catches the wind, everything changes. It doesn't become an eagle in that moment. It simply remembers what it always was. It stops being who Ickens told it to be and starts being who the manufacturer designed it to be. That's you. You've been scratching in the dirt of public opinion, pecking at the crumbs of social validation, plucking in fear at every criticism, and living on the ground when you were designed to soar. High-value living is not about becoming something new. It's about remembering something original. It's about rejecting the chicken identity culture gave you and recovering the eagle identity heaven gave you. Here's another truth the world won't tell you. What if I told you that the women who changed the world were not the ones who played it safe, stayed silent, and waited for permission? What if I told you that Esther would have missed her assignment if she had prioritized being liked over being obedient? She risked her life, her position, her security, her comforts because she understood she was born for such a time as this. What if Deborah had believed the lie that women should be quiet, invisible, and submissive? Israel would have remained oppressed. The nation would have missed its deliverance because she refused her assignment. What if Mary had said, no, this is too controversial, too risky, too disruptive to my reputation? When the angel announced her assignment, the world would have missed salvation because she chose safety over surrender. These women understood something most women never discover. You were not born to be comfortable. You were born to be consequential. You were not designed for convenience. You were designed for impact. You were not created to be safe. You were created to be significant. The world would have missed their contribution if they had chosen acceptance over assignment. If they had prioritized approval over obedience. If they had waited for perfect conditions before saying yes to their purpose. That's what happens when you prioritize being accepted over being assigned. You rob the world of solutions that only your unique design can deliver. You deprive generations of the impact they needed from your specific gift set. Stop. Before I continue, I need to interrupt your thinking. Let me ask you something, and I need you to be brutally honest with yourself. Are you living your purpose or just making a living? Are you being who you were designed to be or who people need you to be? Are you executing your assignment or just managing expectations? How long will you let fear of judgment keep your potential buried? How long will you let insecurity keep your gifts locked inside? When will you stop asking permission to become who you already are? When will you stop waiting for validation from people who don't even know their own value? If something is stirring in you right now, if you feel that restlessness, that holy dissatisfaction, that divine discomfort, that's not depression, that's not anxiety, that's not discontent, that's your potential banging on the door of your consciousness, screaming, "Let me out." That's your assignment demanding attention. That's your purpose refusing to stay buried. The wealthiest place on earth is the graveyard filled with books never written, businesses never launched, inventions never created, solutions never released, songs never sung, and impact never made. And if you're still listening to me right now, it's because something in your spirit is screaming, "I refuse to be buried there with my music still inside me." Now, let's move from knowledge to activation, because information without application is just decorated ignorance. Understanding without execution is just sophisticated procrastination. Stage one is wake up. You cannot change what you tolerate. You cannot fix what you deny. You cannot transform what you won't acknowledge. The first step to high-value living is waking up to this truth. Where you are is not where you belong. Who you've been is not who you were designed to be. What you've accepted is not what you were authorized for. If you've been living beneath your design, say it out loud right now. If you've been chasing counterfeit value while ignoring your kingdom assignment, admit it. If you've been performing for people's approval while neglecting your purpose, confess it. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. You've been asleep to your true identity, but today is your wake-up call. Stage two is remember. You're not trying to become something new. You're trying to remember something original. You're not building an identity from scratch. You're recovering your manufacturer's design from beneath the rubble of wrong teaching, cultural conditioning, and limiting beliefs. Stop building an identity and start recovering your blueprint. Go back to the original specifications. What were you fascinated by as a child before the world told you to be practical? What problems make you angry because you see solutions no one else sees? What injustices bother you so deeply you can't ignore them? What do you do that makes you lose track of time? What conversations energize you instead of draining you? What needs do you notice that everyone else overlooks? Those are clues to your original programming. Those are hints about your manufacturer's design. Those are breadcrumbs leading you back to your authentic assignment. High-five value women don't copy other women's assignments. They recover their own. Stage three is decide. Potential without decision is just cemetery material. Possibility without commitment is just conversation. Dreams without determination are just wishes. What separates the graveyard from destiny is one thing: decision, not circumstances, not resources, not connections, not permission. Decision. Will you die full or die empty? Will you spend your life performing for approval or fulfilling your assignment? Will you keep asking if you're good enough or start declaring, "I was made for this"? Will you wait for perfect conditions or start with current circumstances? Will you let fear decide your future, or will you let faith activate your purpose? Decision is the bridge between where you are and where you're designed to be. And nobody can make that decision for you. Not your family, not your friends, not your pastor, not your mentor. You must decide. Stage four is act. Knowledge without action is decorated ignorance. Understanding without execution is just sophisticated laziness. Revelation without application is just interesting information. Find your assignment. Identify the specific problem you were born to solve. Discover the unique need your design was created to meet. Then get up and do it. Don't wait until you feel ready, because you'll never feel ready. Don't wait until conditions are perfect, because conditions are never perfect. Don't wait until people validate you, because validation is not a prerequisite for activation. Don't wait until you have all the resources, because resources follow purpose. They don't precede it. The graveyard is full of, "I'll do it later. I'll start when I'm ready. I'll launch when conditions improve. I'll begin when I feel more confident." Start today. Write the first chapter of the book. Launch the basic version of the business. Create the first version of the product. Offer the first session of the program. Schedule the first meeting. Make the first call, take the first step, post the first video, send the first email, apply for the first opportunity. Progress, not perfection. Movement, not mastery. Action, not analysis. Stop asking, can I? Start declaring, I must. Stop saying, maybe someday. Stop saying, starting today. Stop waiting for perfect circumstances. Start creating with current conditions. You were not born to be a supporting character in someone else's story. You were not born to be a backup plan in case someone's first choice doesn't work out. You were not born to shrink yourself so others feel comfortable. You were not born to dim your light so others don't feel intimidated. You were not born to apologize for taking up space. You were born to solve a problem that only your unique design can address. You were born to demonstrate what a woman looks like when she's fully aligned with her manufacturer's specifications. You were born to show the world what happens when a daughter of the king stops apologizing for her authority and starts occupying her assignment with confidence. Stop asking, can I? Start declaring, I must. Stop saying, maybe someday. Start saying, starting today. Stop waiting for perfect circumstances. Start creating with current conditions. Stop looking for permission. Start operating in authorization. Stop competing with other women. Stop collaborating with your kingdom assignment. Stop measuring yourself by the world's broken standards. Start measuring yourself by the manufacturer's original specifications. Stop performing for people's approval. Start executing for purpose fulfillment. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are not random. You are not insignificant. You are not ordinary. You are a solution. You are an answer. You are a kingdom assignment wrapped in human skin. You are a world changer disguised as an ordinary woman. You are a history maker hiding in plain sight. You are a problem solver pretending to be average. You are an industry disruptor acting like you're just getting by. You are valuable not because of what you've done, but because of whose image you bear and whose breath keeps you alive. Listen to me. I'm not speaking to who you are. I'm speaking to who you're becoming. I'm not addressing your current condition. I'm addressing your original design. I see it. Heaven sees it. The manufacturer sees it. The only one who doesn't see yet is you. But something is shifting right now. Something is breaking off right now. Something is being activated right now. You thought your value depended on being chosen by the right person. Wrong. You were chosen before the foundation of the world by the only opinion that matters. You believed your mistakes disqualified you from your assignment. Wrong. Your past was not disqualification, it was education. Every failure was a lesson. Every setback was preparation. Every disappointment was redirection. You assumed you needed more credentials, or approval, more validation, more experience, more connections before you could step into your purpose. Wrong. The manufacturer already authorized you the day he gave you breath. He already equipped you the day he designed you. He already qualified you the day he assigned you. Your birth was not an accident. It was strategic, calculated, deliberate, intentional. Heaven had a problem that only your unique design could solve. There was a gap that only your specific gift set could fill. There was a need that only your particular assignment could meet. That's why you're different. That's why you never quite fit into the boxes society tried to force you into. That's why normal never satisfied you. That's why average always felt like betrayal. That's why conventional living always left you empty. You were manufactured for kingdom impact. You were designed for generational influence. You were created for world-changing solutions. You were built for cultural transformation. And I prophesy to you today, the graveyard will not have your potential. Your seeds will not die with you. The book inside you will be written. The business inside you will be launched. The solution inside you will be released. The influence inside you will be activated. The authority inside you will be demonstrated. The assignment inside you will be executed. This is your hour. This is your moment. This is your season. This is your time. What you've been carrying in secret, it's time to birth it publicly. What you've been hiding in fear, it's time to release it boldly. What you've been waiting for permission to do, stop waiting and start doing. You have permission. You have authority. You have assignment. You have authorization. The manufacturer already said yes. Stop waiting for people to validate what heaven already authorized. Stop asking if you're qualified. The manufacturer doesn't make mistakes. Stop wondering if you're good enough. You're not good enough. You're exactly enough for the specific problem you were designed to solve. Stop questioning your worth. Your value was established before you were born, and nothing you've done, nothing you've experienced, nothing you've survived has changed it. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Stop measuring your chapter 3 against someone else's chapter 20. Stop judging your process by someone else's product. Now go and solve the problem you were born to answer. Go and release the solution you were designed to carry. Go and demonstrate what a high-value woman actually looks like when she stops performing and starts being, when she stops competing and starts creating, when she stops asking permission and starts walking in authorization, when she stops seeking validation and starts executing assignments. So what do you do now? Let me give you 4 clear instructions. Number 1, identify your specific assignment. Don't just think about it, write it down. What problem were you uniquely designed to solve? What need do you notice that others overlook? What injustice bothers you so deeply you can't ignore it? What frustrates you that you know you could fix? That's a clue to your assignment. That's a hint about your purpose. That's evidence of your design. The manufacturer gave you a specific problem that only your unique combination of gifts, experiences, and perspectives can address. Find it, name it, own it. Number 2, stop waiting for permission. You already have it. The day you were born, heaven authorized your assignment. The moment you took your first breath, the manufacturer activated your purpose. People's approval is optional. Their validation is unnecessary. Their permission is irrelevant. Their endorsement is not required. You have kingdom authorization, and that supersedes every human opinion. Stop looking for someone to give you permission to be who you already are. Stop waiting for validation to do what you were already designed to do. Number 3, start today, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month, not next year, not when you feel ready, not when you feel confident, not when conditions are perfect, not when you have more money, more time, more support, more credentials, more connections. The graveyard is full of "I'll do it later." The cemetery is packed with "I was waiting for the right time." Death doesn't wait for your perfect timing. Purpose doesn't pause for your comfort level. Assignment doesn't hold while you gather courage. Start with what you have, where you are, with who you know. Progress, not perfection. Movement, not mastery. Action, not analysis. Imperfect execution beats perfect planning every time. Number 4, die empty. Don't let the cemetery be the wealthiest place. Don't add your unrealized potential to the graveyard's collection. You have seeds inside you. You have books inside you. You have businesses inside you. You have solutions inside you. You have inventions inside you. You have influence inside you. The world is waiting for your book, your business, your solution, your influence, your voice, your perspective, your unique contribution. Give earth everything heaven deposited in you. Leave nothing buried. Release everything you carry. Die empty. You were not born to be a copy. You were born to be an original. You were not designed to fit in. You were designed to stand out. You were not created to follow someone else's path. You were created to blaze your own trail. And the world is waiting for what only you carry. This is not motivation. This is activation. This is not inspiration to feel good. This is instruction to do good. Your high-value living begins the moment you stop trying to prove your worth and start executing your assignment. The manufacturer already declared you valuable. Now go live like you believe it. Now go act like you know it. Now go demonstrate to the world what high value really looks like. When a woman remembers who she is, and why she's here,